If you run a cleaning business, you already know that managing follow-ups, walkthroughs, estimates, jobs can be a bit of a headache. You need to have a system and solid system you follow behind this for every single job and every single lead that comes in. So I created a pretty clear system on how to actually manage this stuff for you, right? It's quite comprehensive and we'll go over this today. And it's for any kind of cleaning businesses, and I have more for hiring and so on that I'll go over in next videos. But let's actually go on the sales one right now, on how to, manage your sales and your leads once they come in to actually delivering a job, invoicing, and making money, right? So let's go into it. So first we start with the request stage. This is where the prospect or the person that wants your services, is interested, and he opts in on your website. For example, he could come from referral, he could come from paid ads, he could come from cold email, he could come from cold call. There's so many ways to get leads. I'm not gonna go over these right now. This is how to handle this person once he ends up in your CRM. CRM is a contact management software, a place where you manage your contacts and your leads for your services, right? So once he opts into the website, make sure to have opted on the website, like a form. He fills in his name, address, the need, the service he needs, the square footage, and so on, like additional information. This is potentially, but you might want to have this. Then, waiting time until SDR notices the lead. SDR is a sales department representative. It's a person that, manages your sales. It's the person, well, not manages, but, he calls people, he talks to people, he communicates with your prospects and with your lead. If you don't have this person, which you probably don't have if you're starting out, you'll do it yourself, right? So when a lead comes in from your website, it's added to your system. You make sure to track their phone number. You pick up the call and you phone them. Right? You call them, and then SDR or you contact the lead, and you initiate a walkthrough. You offer that you'll go over. You will come over to their place or their office or whatever. Is it commercial or residential? Doesn't matter. You'll go to their place, and this is a sales department of the cleaning business part. So this is how it's so this is where you act as a cleaning business, and this is where the prospect acts here, right? So it's divided like this, and this is the request stage, right? So you contact him, you call him, or you can send an email, but I would prefer calling. I think calling is much better overall, right? It's it's more human, and you initiate a walkthrough. So if he accepts, or there's a chance that if you're bad at sales and if you don't know how to call or talk to people in regards of sales, it will fail, and he's gonna go with someone else that call him or email him. But if you do it right, if you learn how to communicate properly, then he will accept the walkthrough, and you can move to another stage, right? You can go to walkthrough on site, and once he accepts the walkthrough, if it's accepted, then you go on site. Also, there's a chance that something came up and you'll have to reschedule the walkthrough. That happens, But, if it's on time and if it's going everything well, if it's green, then the walkthrough is on site and it's happening, and you show up there on time, ideally a bit early, and you come prepared. You have your notes or your iPhone, you have your note-taking app, or you have a paper note somewhere where you can write down information, because, you'll gain a lot of valuable insights about the job. Like, what does he actually want? What are the specifications? Does he want the windows, the deep cleaning? If it's office, where should you go? When should you go? How should you come? There's so many nuances you need to note down, either for yourself or for your cleaners. But make sure to track it down, right? Right. What you can do is you can open up Neati or any kind of software management app, or your notes taking app, and you can track down everything he notes, right? So, for example, in Neati, this is just an example, right? We'll go here to new estimate as we're walking on our phone, and we'll choose, okay, let's say we're doing a residential job for a, some kind of house, and they want to have a weekly cleaning on every Sunday, let's say. You'll get it for square footage, how big is the house. So weekly, there's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and, they prefer 8 a.m. to 9:30. On Sundays. They also want deep cleaning, they want windows cleaning, and they want carpet cleaning. Next step, this is all notes for your cleaners or for you, for the future if you want to outsource your work. So okay, the kitchen needs to be cleaned, the bedroom, the garage needs to be cleaned as well, the bathrooms, the living room, the basement is fine, we don't need to clean basement. And then condition is, it's a regular maintenance, so that's fine. Accessibility factors, there are stairs, there's limited parking because it's a small neighborhood, and there's not much space. Yeah, and there's a bit of heavy furniture we'll need to move around to clean behind it. So let's just note it down. Then client preferences. The client wants pet-safe products because he has a dog. I'll move forward. We'll, get his information there. We already have saved in our database, just for clarity. And then, once we're done with the walkthrough, as we're walking, we're noting things down as we talk to them. You maybe also can snap a few images and so on. You open up this and you just copy the link or just share it to him instantly to email and he can see it himself right there and there. And if he's okay with it, if he's fine with it right away, then you can just create the invoice right away. You can pass it from your estimates, and you'll have an invoice that you can send to him, and he can pay it through our payment process platform, which is Stripe, and you'll get the money right there in your bank account. But ideally, you'll want to send to his email by clicking this button, or you can download it in PDF, and then he'll pay it right there and there, and money's in your account in a few minutes, right? So let's get back to the diagram. Usually, he's not gonna accept the estimate right away. So, there's two chances, right? Like, he's gonna accept or he won't. Maybe it's too expensive, or he doesn't, he chooses a different company, but if it's accepted, right? Also, there's a chance of, him accepting the quotation right away, and he just pays, and we're done. But, usually it's not like that. Usually, estimate is accepted, and once estimate is accepted, we can create new quotation or proposal, and invoice based on the quotation we have made. Invoice is paid. If it's recurring, we can set date for example, every single month on the 15th, it will keep being sent to his account, and we can track if he paid, if he opened, or if he didn't pay. And if he doesn't pay, for example, for 3 days, the email will be automatically sent to his address, but we'll set the recurring. Then if he didn't accept the job, we can just remake the estimate, and again, same thing goes, he accepts or he cancels, whatever. Then once he has accepted the proposal and he has paid, we will create a job, assign a cleaner, set a schedule for example, Sundays on this example here, and create a checklist. The checklist will be based on these requirements we have here. I don't know if you can see it, probably not, doesn't matter, but it will be based on the notes we have taken down while getting the invoice in, right? And that's basically it. Now you have a checklist, assigned cleaner, and a schedule. All you need now is a reliable cleaner or subcontractor that can manage this job. Money is already in the account. Money came in, right? We now just have to hire a cleaner, manage his hour, track his hours worked on a job, set a schedule, and the checklist he needs to fulfill. And for every job, he needs to fulfill this checklist. So here, again, we have tasks, we have jobs. And here we have a checklist that he needs to go through every single day, or every time he cleans, actually. He'll also have client information, where is he located, and so on, and the schedule, where should the, and the schedule on when the cleaning should happen. There's also additional point to the map, and we'll see where is he located right now, right? The cleaner, so the client, right? So the cleaner can see, he can, set his directions on Google Map. He can be there on time and make sure he cleans it right with the checklist, and the invoices are handled automatically, and you have nothing to worry about. Now you can just, pull back, get another client, and keep making more money, keep hiring more cleaners, and scaling your operation. Obviously, you'll want to check the checklist yourself and make sure he's actually checking it right, and you want to call the client from time to time. Also, there will be an email automatically sent after every single job completed, asking the client if he's satisfied and if everything was okay. If not, he doesn't have to reply, but if there's something he wants to add, boom, you'll get an email back, and you can resort it, you can sort it out, and you can check out with a cleaner if it's done properly, and if not, then you want to fire the cleaner, or retrain him, or do your thing. And another crucial point is hiring your cleaner, and I'm going to go over this soon, right, in a different video. But this was pretty much the whole sales process on getting a lead and acquiring client, basically going from a contact to a client and managing it. I touched up on this, right? But this goes deeper than that. But this is how you would want to manage the actual deal, right? So this is the whole process, and I hope you guys learned something today. I hope there's something you can implement in your own business, and something you can implement to really scale your business and manage your operations much more efficiently as you had before, to make more money, get more deals, and run smoothly. That's it for me today. I'm Patrick, and I provide a lot of value regarding cleaning businesses on my YouTube and on my profile, and you can check it out. I'll also be making videos with similar diagrams and similar workflows for you guys, so you can really, we can help each other grow and make our cleaning business efficient as possible. And I'll see you in the next one. So thank you for listening. Goodbye.